They're going well. The guys are working hard. I think they're practicing like they have a chip on their shoulder. We're making a commitment to run the football and be a physical, explosive football team. We feel like we got an offensive line that's a year older. Kind of worked really hard in the weight room. They're physically look a lot different than they did this time last year. We've got a good stable of running backs. Our tight ends, I think, are going to play a huge part in what we're doing in the physical standpoint. And then you throw the physical in the run game, and then you put Adonis and Robbie and Sam and all those guys out on the perimeter, Ramon DeLoach. I think we got a chance to be okay.
How do you think are the scrimmages going to play out the running back competition? You think it's still kind of too early to call there?
Yeah, way too early to call. We're going to try. We know what the older guys can do, and that's not saying that they're not going to be the starters. And we've talked to them of keeping their legs fresh. They've been here for a while. David Hood and Jihad Thomas have had a great camp so far, made some great runs, taking care of the football. We've got to get those young guys in there early to see what they can do. We can't go through 2 weeks and they get 8 reps. We got to put them in there and see what they can do and let them mess up a couple of times and how they respond and are they physical enough right now to do the job. But it's exciting. It's really exciting to coach running backs here now because it's great competition. That's all you can ask for. If you're not producing, there's 5 more over there looking at you like they want the ball. So it's good.
Can you talk about Jalen Robinson, just what you've seen in his progression?
Just the maturation of learning how to play football. He hadn't played a lot of football when he got here. He's a great athletic, long, physical specimen. When you see him, he's exactly what you would envision a right tackle, being in college and in the NFL. And we've really taken our time and really put some time into him in the weight room, trying to develop his body. He's put on probably 15, 20 pounds. His strength numbers have shot up because this is really only about the 3rd year he's lifted weights, especially at this level. He's understanding the game. He's understanding the calls. There's not as many MAs as there were in the spring. And he gets to block, Praise Martin and Nate D. And a really, 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 really good set of defensive linemen and defensive ends every day. And we tell him, don't get down. They're going to get by a lot of people. And I think it's only making him better. I mean, he's leaps and bounds where he was even, at the end of spring.
Would you say he has a shot at that right tackle spot?
No shot. No doubt. He has a shot. It's great competition at all the tackle spots with James McHale and Deion Dawkins and Jalen, and then we got Eric Lofton, Shabazz, Ahmed. He has been playing some right tackle here and there just to see, moving around shuffles. So if we get in situations like we had last year with some injuries, we feel comfortable putting people at different spots.
How do you envision the tight ends role this year? They really didn't catch a lot of passes last year. They kind of blocked. Do you think that opens up more because of all the receivers you brought in?
I think it opens up more because we're going to run the football. We're going to be in bigger sets. Last year we made a philosophical change to be more up-tempo, not really use the tight ends like we had before, the year before. We're making a commitment to putting the tight ends back in the game 1, 2, 3 at times on the field. Their role, because of the formations we'll be using, will grow because with more formations comes more play actions and opportunities, like you said, for them to catch the ball. But with Colin and with Cole and with Kip Patton, Jake Robinson, Chris Myrick, and we got 4 or 5 really good kids there that we feel like can go in and play different roles for us.
Is that like a philosophical thing you guys have thought about for a while, or is it just the personnel kind of dictating?
We tried. I was guilty of just kind of getting caught in the wave of no huddle offenses, and you see Johnny Manziel and Texas A&M and Oregon and Baylor, and you're like, we got this dynamic quarterback, we got some speed outside of receiver. Why not? Let's spread everybody out. Let PJ will it and deal it. But it's not my mental makeup. It's not Coach Rule's mental makeup, our philosophy of how we grew up in football. It's not the Temple makeup. When you think of Temple, you think of physical, explosive, relentless effort, body blows, just big sets, big tight ends, big offensive linemen, and just, making you defend the run. And we got away from that, and we started to transition and trend back to it last year, which is not the thing to do. You don't want to start with one philosophy and then come back and start trying to go back to what you truly believe in. That's a recipe for disaster. So we made a commitment right to the season that we were going to get back to Temple football, which is just Temple tough, relentless, aggressive nature, and create big plays outside with a run game.
With the new additions to the receiving corps, when you have a mobile quarterback like P.J. Walker, what does that do for him as a runner and then your running game in general?
It's huge because you've got to make a decision. Are you going to bring an extra hat in the box to stop the running game, or are you going to keep a safety over top of Robbie or Adonis or Sam or JC or any of those guys? And, we have to be really smart and train our kids to understand, different types of box counts and looks in the secondary. And when somebody drops their hands, per se, in a boxing match or shows their hand and gives us a mismatch, whether it be in the run game with a box count or on the perimeter with one of those big receivers, we have to be ready to take advantage of it.
How is Robbie now compared to where he was 2 years ago?
Pretty much the same. He's Robbie. He's competitive. He's very competitive. He brings the room up. He gives the receiver room an edge. But all those guys, I mean, with Robbie and Adonis and Vintel Bryant and Sam, and they are working so hard and so well right now, and they're bringing each other along, and they're competing because, again, just because Robbie had a great year 2 years ago, if he goes out there and doesn't play well, there's 3 other kids that were here, that have been working really hard to change their body and be ready for that moment. So he's got ready to go. There's great competition in that room.
What's it like having these options, both receiver and running back? You seem deeper at both than you've been, in those 3
I've
years.
never in my life been this deep at receiver and running back. I think we have 13, 15 receivers here at camp. Not all of them can play this year, and not all of them will. But we have options. We have different types. We have tall receivers. We have 6'2" receivers. We have 6'4" receivers. We have big receivers, big and slow, big and fast that can jump. We have possession receivers. We have slot receivers. So a multitude of backs that have different options, big backs, scat backs, 4-minute backs, bully ball backs. I mean, we've got options, which is huge. That's what Coach Rule, when we first got here, when he laid out his recruiting plan and the types of players and the types of positions we were looking to recruit. That's what we set out to do 3 seasons ago anyway, when we first got here, and it's starting to show.
With the first scrimmage coming up this weekend, what do you want to see during it? Do you just want to?
I want to see this. I want to understand the plan to win. I want them to understand they can't beat themselves, which is they can't have penalties and they can't turn the ball over. And I want to see them play with unbelievable effort. I want to see them just play, not even thinking about the outcome of a play or a score or a scoreboard or anything. I want to see them just playing football, doing and knowing their job. And I want to just see just a physical, relentless effort on the field of people chasing the ball, making plays, and again, not beating themselves. Because our defense is good enough if we can just play within ourselves and create some explosive plays with our receivers and run the football and be able to at times, if we, not everybody's going to score every possession. If we can just get a kick and kick it across midfield, we got a shot to play defense and get the ball back.
Are there any freshmen who look, I know again it's early, but even just the way they handle themselves on or off the field, who look a little bit more ready than some of the others?
I think Raquel Armstead's had a great camp so far, but it's still early, like you said. We'll keep adding some stuff, so he's got to be able to take it, learn it, and not slow down. I think Jagger and Gardner and T.J. Simmons both have showed flashes of having the physical capability to be really good players and could help us this year. All 3 of them should be on every special team, trying to be on every special team and being great at that. I think Jake Robinson's had a really good camp. He's got some physical tools that, he doesn't look like a freshman. He doesn't just get pushed around by the defense. He can hold his own. I think Jovan Fair, we've got him playing left guard. He's with the twos right now at left guard, and he is really he's come along just in the last 2 or 3 days. He's a young kid we're excited about.
He was also a wrestler too. Does that help when you're recruiting him and you see that he maybe gets something from playing that? Does that help him at all with his development and give him an extra edge up as a?
Oh yeah, I mean, Coach Rule talks about all the time. Like if you can find, offensive linemen that are wrestlers, let's go get them full steam. That's understanding leverage and body position and how to move people and how to fit their hands and how their body works. I mean, balance, toughness. You got to be tough to be a wrestler. And him being a wrestler and being a wrestler at the level he was wrestling at in high school, I think has just made him an even better football player.
You mentioned Jake Robinson. He's pretty athletic, right, for a tight end. Is that what you like most about him?
Yeah, he's big enough to not be a receiver, and he's athletic enough not to just be an on-the-line tight end that is just blocking power and run game. We can split him out. We can move him around. He can do versatile stuff in the backfield as far as some stuff that a fullback might do. So he allows us to have options back there with him and, make people defend an extra tight end on the field that's athletic enough to do some things as a receiver or a back could possibly do.
Have you seen with you guys saying we kind of want to get back to what we want to do offensively? I don't know how much time you get to look at what other programs are doing, but do you think some other programs are going to do what you guys are doing, saying we've maybe gotten too caught up in the spread, no huddle stuff? or is that something you don't really know until you see it? in the season?
I don't really know, to be honest with you. I have no clue.
Anyone else jumping out at you that's had a really good camp, kind of exceeded your expectations?
Not really. Not at the. You know, I think we're all kind of in it together in a foxhole, and you know, the usual suspects have made plays with out on the perimeter with their wideouts, and you know, PJ. I think I'm so proud of PJ. He looks so confident and so under control out there. He's had a great summer. You know, Coach Thomas and him, they sit in the room, and I think Glenn's done a phenomenal job of preparing him just from the mental side of it. This, you know, understanding how to, you can't lose your mind out there, just stay calm and control, and how to lead. And it's been fun to watch the maturation from last year through the spring, through the summer to where he is now. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.